welcome to a new episode of In Other Words with Danielle and Zara.
This is a podcast where we talk about a wide variety of different subjects, from giving advice to mentorship. So in other words, we talk about all the things. So for this episode, we just want to promote Tiny Bites. She's on Facebook as Tiny Bites or Instagram Tiny Bites Mama. And she does baked goods, very good for catering or if you just want a nice little snack. And her things are very good, so I would highly recommend checking her out.
Brownies are top notch.
Indeed. Cool.
So today we have a very special guest. His name is Mikey de Klerk.
Wow.
And we just felt, especially after the feminist episode, if you haven't listened to it.
Go do that right now.
Yes. We just felt like this is very female podcast and it was good to get some testosterone on the podcast. So today,
male energy.
Happy to provide the testosterone.
So today we are going to be talking about things that we just don't understand about guys, questions that we've always wanted to ask and we just haven't.
Great.
Indeed.
So Michael, is there anything that you would like to say to the listeners before we get started?
You want to introduce yourself?
Okay, well, as said, my name is Mikey, and I think the only real relevant fact about myself is that I'm a male. So that's why I'm here today.
And he has stocks.
And he talks about all the time.
So that's me. What was the other question?
I think that was it.
Okay, cool. Good start.
Also, we would just like to let you know that everything is very generalized. The questions about males is very generalized, and Mikey is representing the entire gender of male right now. So don't give him too much of a hard time.
Like how you said that the entire gender of male. All right. So the first question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you not put the toilet seat down?
This is from someone very close to Michael.
Why do males not put the toilet seat down, or why do I?
Well, both.
If the shoe fits, eh?
That's a difficult one to answer, but I think the best answer I could give would just be convenience, because then you don't need to put it back up. There's no real other way to justify it. I'm sorry.
It makes it inconvenient for the female that's going after?
You see, the issue is that there's no female using my bathroom,
so you just
that's
get used
where
to
the
it.
habit.
So you don't have a special
comes
friend that comes to your house?
Well, yeah, but for the most part, it's just me.
Okay, so guys are lazy. Got it. Okay,
I'm
the
sorry.
next question is ego tied to self-esteem? Like, do guys who have like a big ego, are they really just insecure? Like, what's the deal?
I think it has a part to play on both sides. I think guys that have very high self-esteem have a very big ego as well.
That's true.
And guys that don't have a high self-esteem also have a big ego. But I think it's very difficult to generalize for all guys. I think generally it comes from a very specific reason that's different for each guy. But I mean, I think just in general, in terms of like masculinity, you want to be like in the society that we're in, you want to be a manly man, you know?
Yeah.
And so that can be where like ego issues can arise from.
Yeah.
But I think self-esteem is linked, but I wouldn't say it's the only cause.
Yeah. Whenever I meet a guy with like a very big ego, I'm just like, okay, you're dealing with your things. I will just leave you alone.
Yeah. I think also like some guys just don't even realize that they're just being egotistical. Like sometimes they think they're not. They don't realize they are. And
they don't spend enough time in female company. That's what I think.
That's true. Or they might just be too scared to embrace their female energy, you know?
This is true.
Okay, the next question. Why do you think guys don't really know how to express their emotions?
that's a tough one. I think it's because we don't almost like really practice it. Like it's not something we do all the time. So I think it's out of your comfort zone as a guy, because I think when you grow up, a lot of people are afraid of expressing their emotions in terms of like we've said, in terms of like being a manly man, not having feelings. But I think that affects people that don't feel that way. Like, I mean, for me, I don't feel like I'm less of a man when I express my emotions.
And you shouldn't feel like
Power
that.
to you.
That's good.
But I think I still would feel uncomfortable doing so because of the fact that just in general it's not what guys do.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, if you spend a lot of time with guys then and you're not really expressing your emotions, then I think it can feel quite uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then if it comes into a relationship setting where you need to then share your emotions with a female, I think it just makes guys uncomfortable. For some, it's an insecurity thing of not being a manly man. But
so do you think guys get more uncomfortable sharing their emotions in front of other guys or in front of girls?
I think it could be either or, depending on the situation. I think some guys like to have a reputation of, you know, not caring and like, I don't care about other people or whatever. Like, I think some guys can have that kind of reputation that they want to uphold. And in that situation, they won't want other guys to see them expressing their emotions. But I think it could be the same with girls where, you know, some guys really care a lot more about the opinion of girls than other guys. And
that's
so
true.
it could be the same thing where they're like, I don't want girls to think I'm not a manly man. I want to be an alpha male.
Alpha
these
male.
ladies.
What's crazy is, for the most part, girls actually like guys who can express their emotions. It makes life easier for us. So just guys out there, just so you know, we're not looking for
And if you're
Mr. Macho Man.
If you're with a girl who doesn't let you express your emotions, that's just a bit concerning. I would get out of that ASAP.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know that you are in a relationship, but why do guys, this is a question we got, why do guys ask for a girl's number and then just ghost her?
Yeah, this is a tough one because I genuinely think I've never asked a woman for a number in my entire life. So I can't really tell you about the next step of the thought process of what happens after that. So why does a guy not do anything after getting the girl's number?
Yes.
I mean, I think sometimes it could be, I'm just trying to think of a situation where it would make sense, but sometimes
It doesn't, that's the problem.
yeah, I think maybe, I mean, in some types of groups of guys, it's like, it's an impressive thing to do to get a girl's number.
Oh, yeah.
And that, sometimes that can almost be the end goal.
Yes.
Where it's just, you know, oh, like, can you get that girl's number? Something like that. And where the guy maybe isn't actually that interested. Or maybe he just is almost insecure, whereas in front of the guys, he's like, cool, I want to go get the girl's number.
Yeah.
But then he's actually quite afraid to do anything after that.
Yeah.
Only real thing I can think of. But I don't know why that would happen.
Fools.
And do you think guys feel bad when they ghost someone? I don't know. Like, have you ever spoken to a guy who has maybe done this and you can just see there's no remorse on him? Like, what do you think?
I think it depends. I don't think you would really, unless you're really close with someone, really be exposed to their like real
that's
emotions.
True. This is
Because between like the guys, he'll probably be like,
Nah,
yeah, I didn't even message her. I don't care. Her
Yeah.
problem, not mine. Like,
true.
like, so that could easily arise. I feel like I'm giving men such a bad rap.
It's okay.
These are just specific situations.
Yes.
Yes.
These are just real life situations. And I feel like I always hear about, you know, the worst case scenarios.
Yeah.
And it just seems like the guy just literally never cares. But obviously it doesn't apply to
Yes.
everyone because there are some very, very nice guys.
Yes, like you, Mikey.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Cool. Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Okay. Do guys actually care if girls shave or not?
Well, if we're talking about the legs, well, I think, yeah, I'm just going to talk about that. So in terms of that, I think, look, I don't think we are entitled to be able to judge, but I think we're entitled to a personal preference.
What a statement.
Fair enough.
So, like, I think if a girl doesn't want to shave her legs at all, then you do you, and I don't think guys have the right at all to have an opinion. But they do have the right to, you know, have a preference.
Yes.
And I think that changes from guy to guy. I mean, I couldn't really be bothered. If it's like more than me, I think, and that's a lot.
She's challenging your masculinity right there.
Then, like, you know, that's a personal preference thing. But like, I mean, for me, like, it's not like it has to be silky smooth 24/7.
Yeah.
Like, I think in general, girls worry about it more than guys do. I mean, I might be wrong trying to speak for all men, but I mean, for me, like, I'm not really bothered, but I know that girls often are. They'll be like, oh no, I haven't shaved my legs. And as a guy, we're like, I literally can't tell.
Yeah.
Like, you need to understand, I can't tell whether you've shaved your legs, like,
so you don't just analyze
yesterday
girls' legs.
versus like a month. Like, I'll be able to tell if I'm feeling, but that's obviously not a good chance of happening.
That's like sexual harassment right there.
I just want to see.
So in terms of just what you see, I think generally, like, I don't think it's a big issue, and I'm not really bothered.
That's good. That's a very good attitude to have.
Yes.
I've heard people say that they would like put up a fuss if their wives or if their girlfriends didn't shave, and I'm like, I've asked someone. I said, okay, would you shave if she wanted you to shave your legs? No. It's like the double standards, my dudes. Anyway,
what do you notice? Well, you and guys, do you think, notice first about a girl?
Oh, that's tough. I would say it would have to be a specific feature, but I honestly, I can't tell you which one it would be for me personally. But one thing, like, I think I've learned is that just in general, at first, guys are very, like, visual.
yeah.
And what they see is often the initial attraction. And
Yeah.
that can become very dangerous over the long term.
Yeah.
If you just
Because I think, I mean, I might be wrong, but from what I understand is for, like, a woman, it's more like how the guy makes you feel initially that causes the attraction, whereas for a guy, it's very much what they see initially, but that needs to develop into, and that long term, that wouldn't be the reasoning of attraction at all for a guy. But I think initially, in general, guys are just very visual, and so, you know, and then that depends on, you know, what the guy's attracted to. If he likes what he sees.
See, there's something that's always confused me is like, guys want a girl to look good, like pretty, you know, like you see a girl and you're like, wow, she's really beautiful. But then you also have this opinion of like, oh, I just want a girl who doesn't like put too much effort into her appearance. She doesn't put makeup on, like she's natural. But it's like, what do you want from us?
Yeah, no, it's tough. I think also that comes from just hearing different opinions from different guys. I think for some guys, they will give you a very straight answer because like I said, some guys want different things. Some guys see a girl with huge amounts of makeup on and they're like, that is incredible. And they're like, they're not really bothered about the makeup side of things. Whereas some other guys, they prefer if a girl doesn't like try to do too much and just sees like what she looks like naturally.
Yes.
Only like maybe slightly one or two things, like a guy doing his hair, because that's all we do.
The funniest thing for me is I've realized that guys just don't know what natural makeup looks like.
No, we don't.
Because
We
what
really
will happen, like I'll see it on social media, for example, someone will share a picture of a celebrity and she looks like she's not wearing makeup because she doesn't have a full face of makeup on. And all the guys are like, see ladies, this is why you shouldn't wear makeup. And it's like, you can literally see she's wearing mascara,
makeup.
She is wearing foundation.
Yeah,
it just doesn't look like it.
We also can't like pinpoint what it is. I mean, like sometimes.
Why don't we test you right now?
No, I
Are
can't.
either of us wearing makeup, Michael?
I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong answer now either.
It's a yes, no question.
I'm gonna go with yes.
No.
Nothing.
I have mascara on.
Okay, that's the only thing I noticed.
I had no
like,
time.
Okay.
But the thing is, I also like, I wouldn't be able to tell what it is. Like I mean, with Kayla, if she puts makeup on, I'm like, whoa, like you look nice.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
I hope you do that when she doesn't have
really know
makeup
what you
on.
did. But you know, you look really nice.
Yeah.
I hope you tell her that when she doesn't have makeup too.
No, I do.
Good.
That's funny.
Good to know.
But yeah, I think it's, you know, when we don't deal with things, we can't really identify it well for ourselves. And so
That's
it is
true.
very true that we can't identify what's fake eyelashes, what's been adjusted, what
Yes.
what stuff you put on
Mikey
your
touches
face.
his face.
I don't know what does what, because like I said, a guy gets up and he puts gel in his hands and
Yeah.
does his hair if
Yeah.
if he does. And
Yeah, that's true.
some guys do more,
Yeah.
but for the most part, guys just do that. So
Yeah, Devin used to
it's
take
outside
freaking
their
ages on
realm
his
of
hair.
expertise.
What confuses me is like a guy's like, oh, I'm so low maintenance, but why do you take so long to get done then?
They do take long. Oh my gosh.
I think that's a generalization.
Okay,
I think
Devin
because-
takes long to get ready.
Yeah, but I think with that it's different. I think it's the same with girls, where that's
for
different
sure.
between
If
every
I
girl.
have the time, I will go. Ooh, sorry, Danielle, just knocked her out. That's okay. If I have the time, I can spend hours. I'll spend an hour in the shower and like get done. But if I'm in a rush, it's like brush my teeth and go. Like,
But sometimes that's also just therapeutic. It's
It
just nice
is,
to
that's the
just
thing.
take a while. But I mean, I think I get ready pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like if I get ready, I just shower. Then, like I said, I
That's
put
it.
stuff in my hair and
Ready
brush
to
my
go.
teeth.
Yeah, for me, the thing that
Put
takes
some
longest
deodorant
is just everything, like just skin care
I don't know,
routine.
for
Yeah,
me
I think
it's
girls just
just
do have a lot
dawdling.
more to do
Yeah,
as
but
well.
I never wear makeup just because I really don't know how to do it properly.
Me neither.
But for me, it just takes long. I don't have a ton of steps in my getting ready routine, but I just want to procrastinate every single thing.
I will go on my phone.
Yes.
It'll take me forever to choose the music I want to listen to.
It's a whole thing.
That's the issue.
Indeed. Cool. We're ready for the next one.
Yes. This
What?
is taking a turn.
Yes. What is your opinion on the men are trash movement?
Okay, well, I wouldn't say I'm very politically inclined. Yeah, that's the correct term. Like, when people talk about things, I'm just like, I don't really have an opinion. Like, I just love Jesus, and that's how I go about things. I don't really
But
keep up
you
with.
stand for nothing.
Yeah.
What do you fall for?
But I mean, I think I don't men are trash is just a generalization in general, which I'm sure most people do disagree with in general, because I'm sure everyone has a man in their life that they
they
don't
like.
think is trash.
Yes.
My opinion would be is yes, a lot of guys are trash and do really terrible things. But yeah.
Is
All I
it
can say-
something, so obviously it's rooted in gender-based violence.
Yeah.
But like, is it something that offends you? If someone has to like put up like hashtag men are trash.
I mean, it can. I think it can offend me because, like, in my circumstances, I feel like I would never do these types of things. But at the same time, I think those thoughts. I'm like, I would never do these types of things. This isn't addressed towards me, and
Amen.
I do understand. But but the thing is like, I'm also not very easily offended in terms of political things. I'm not really
Yeah.
bothered.
Yeah.
So I think it would be better if it wasn't such a generalized thing that all men
Yes.
are trash. But I think it's just in general, it's well understood that doesn't mean
All men.
what
All men.
like literally all men
Yeah.
are trash. It's
Yeah.
just it's to raise awareness about a serious issue that
Exactly.
any guy can agree with.
Yes. I like that.
Yeah, it's a good answer.
It's a good answer for someone who
Thanks.
isn't politically inclined. It's a very politically PC
Yes.
answer. Okay. What are guys insecure about?
I think guys can be insecure about things just as much as women.
100%.
Which, I mean, it might be surprising to hear, but I think it's just guys don't really talk about it much. But I don't think, like, girls realize, like, actually how hot, like, it's quite difficult to be a guy. And body image things and personality, like, there's all types of things that you can be insecure about as a guy, because just guys are so competitive about everything.
Yeah.
And so you can feel insecure about really anything if you feel that you're, because guys are very verbal and they'll say how they feel. And so if you're fat, like, a guy's gonna call you out between guys. They'll be like
That's rude.
yeah, exactly. And but on the exact same other side, if you're quite skinny and you're not very muscular, like, then you'll get ripped to shreds about that. And there's
Yeah.
always something that guys are going to make fun of you about. And so, like, I think insecurities can really, I think it's very common amongst guys, but it's difficult to tell because guys don't really talk about it that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
tough.
like, I know for myself, I've had serious issues with insecurities because of just guys saying things. And like, when you're younger and other guys, I mean, for me, it's always been like, you know, all the guys are taller than me and all the guys are like, when I was, well, it was more of an issue like
Before
in younger in high
growth
school.
spurts.
What growth spurt? But like, it's something obviously you just got to get through. And so I think with guys, it's just, you feel like you need to keep up in every single way. And so I think you can, guys do feel insecure. I specifically know that guys feel insecure about like their bodies. It's very common that guys are training because they feel inferior to
I
all
feel like
the
there's
other guys.
this like gym revolution, like since I think our matric year,
Yeah,
everyone
it's
was like had
hectic.
to be at the gym, and it was like a huge thing.
Yeah.
And it was all about like building muscle,
Yeah.
and it's leg day, and it's this day, and I'm just like,
The
calm down.
The funny thing is that
after your
most
body.
of the time, guys are doing that for other guys. Like, girls won't notice those things,
That's
right?
the
For sure.
thing. Like,
I mean, maybe like obviously some girls have their preferences. Some girls like a guy with more muscle. But when you when you think about guys who spend all their time at the gym, no girl is really looking at that and being
no,
like,
I want
"Ooh,
time
so cool."
with my man. If
Exactly.
he's like at the gym for 6 hours,
That'll be a problem
no
for me.
thanks.
And then also other things is like being bad at a sport is
Yeah.
it's like tough for a guy.
Yeah.
Like I think especially like in high school, it doesn't really become that important for the girls, because it's like not all the girls are doing sports. It's not like but like within guys, there's like
That's
a hierarchy of where you stand on the food chain in terms of how good you are at a sport.
That's
Wow.
wild.
It's if someone's really good at sport, like they're
cool.
a cool guy, like, and that's mainly between the guys, and it takes like you eventually realize that the girls don't really care that much. But like guys can be seriously insecure about this. I mean, I know when I was in primary school, I was like way down the alphabet for like every sport. I was, and then like that was something I was really insecure about, because
Yeah.
my friends would all be in the A team,
Aw.
and then like I could see that like if they felt like it was like they were above me, you know. And then that's why these gym revolutions things can happen. Like,
Yeah.
and that can cause like, I think with guys also, they have a lot of like body dysmorphia issues as
100%.
well.
That's not spoken about
Because-
enough.
Because like, I mean, I can't really speak about the overweight side of things where they feel like they're fat, but I can speak on the side of things of never feeling like big enough kind of thing, from all my life being like a very skinny guy. Even if I've made progress, I'll never think I have, and I'll like, and it's still something I struggle with today,
Yeah.
where I'm just like, and like now it's not really an issue for me anymore, and it's something I've developed, and now, you know, going to the gym is more of just a hobby.
Yeah.
But like it started from a very like dark place
Yeah.
of not feeling good enough, and it's a combination of, you know, like, I mean, obviously like I played rugby, and that's a physical sport. I mean, there were times, I mean, I know I was told like you can't be in the team because you're too small.
Hectic.
So that happens,
Ew.
and like, I mean, I had a coach say that to me, and like he was like, you didn't make it because you're too small, and that can happen, and so you feel this such a need to, and and that can develop a lot of unhealthy things where you're trying to eat way too much, and you're trying to train all the time where you're not even enjoying it, but you're just
Yeah, it's like all
trying to-
consuming.
trying to keep up with other guys that are just naturally a bit meatier than you are. So it's in like, guys do get insecure, and that's just, I mean, there's so many other things that guys can be insecure about, but that's just a specific thing that I've experienced that I can relate to. But I think even in like academics, like guys are competitive. That's the thing.
Yeah.
As a general sense, I think guys are very competitive, and they feel inferior, and like they don't like feeling inferior in anything,
Yeah.
and then issues can arise from that.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, I think that's all really important things that need to be spoken about more, because often, you know, the media, all of that, it focuses more on girls' insecurities way more
Yeah.
than guys' insecurities.
It's
and
very
spec-
easy to feel like, oh, guys
Yeah.
don't have these issues, but
They do. And also in terms of eating disorders and all that kind of thing, like
yeah.
when you think of eating disorders, you
You
often
think
think of
of a woman.
girls. You don't think of a guy having eating disorders, and these are all
Real things.
indeed. But anyway, next question. Why don't guys hug each other properly?
For real. This whole like slap each other on the back, like, where's the love? Where's the affection? Aren't you hungry for affection?
I mean, like, I would say it's just the norm, and that's why. But you know, like the guy shake and hug thing, like it feels pretty much just as affectionate as a hug. And
Really?
like, I wouldn't say it's something where that's like the next step from a handshake. Like handshake, that's
Very
like a lower form of a hello.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you're doing that, that's like that feels affectionate for guys. It doesn't feel
Okay.
like a hug is necessary. But then again, like I do have certain guys that I will just hug normally. So it's not always the
Do you
case.
hug Brian?
Yeah, I hug Brian.
Everyone hugs Brian.
Understandably so. He's a teddy bear.
But not like, I mean, just generally guys that I'm quite close to, I will just give them a hug like normally. So
That's good.
Okay.
I don't think it's always the
for you.
case, but I think it's just the norm. It's just what guys
Yeah.
do. So guys kind of just follow what the other one
Yeah.
decides to do, and
That's true.
pretty much how it
It's
works.
very much a cultural thing.
Yeah. If one guy's just going in for the handshake, then the other one will too. If the one's
Yeah.
like, oh, let's do the bro hug thing, then you just go with it, you know?
I've always just seen it as like so not affectionate.
Yeah, same.
Really?
Yes, it's like let's just hit each other on the shoulder and try our best not to look like we're gay or something.
True.
Wow. I've always thought it was quite an affectionate thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you
But yeah,
perceive it as affection.
we do.
Okay, so we're going to end on a bang. Okay, so who do you think is responsible for birth control? So obviously we know you're a Christian and you're waiting for marriage to have sex, but
You can still have an opinion.
you can still have an opinion. And at this podcast, we like to promote safe sex. So if you don't believe in that, sorry. But okay, in terms of not getting pregnant or having safe sex, whose responsibility do you think it is, the guy or the girl?
So we're talking not after the conception. We're talking before.
No,
the
this is
conception.
you don't want to have children. So this is
Yeah, it's
you're
like,
trying not to get
who
pregnant.
brings condoms?
Like I said, this is very much outside my realm of expertise, but I think, I mean, I would just say it's a joint responsibility, but because it's a joint decision,
Yeah.
whatever
Yes,
you're
consent.
gonna do. Yeah.
Very
Um,
important.
So in terms of what happens before inception, in terms of
Inception.
Conception.
conception. I'm
It's
sorry.
a very confusing movie, Inception.
In terms of before conception, I'd say it's both people's responsibilities, and it's both people's. The consequences are on both of them
Yeah.
equally. At first, I thought you were talking about afterwards, which I guess I would say the decision leans more probably on the woman's side because it's her body. But beforehand, I would say it's completely equal.
Yes.
So
Because I've always felt like there's this thing of like a guy carries a condom in his wallet. I don't know if that's actually a thing, but that's a thing.
I don't know. I don't.
Gets good. But I've often, like, you see movies or you see like a girl get pregnant and she's young and you know that it was an accident and you look at her and you're like, oh, why was she so silly?
Yeah.
But it's like, realistically, it's on both people. And so you had the right answer.
Yeah, but I think it depends on the culture, and I can't really tell what the general norm is, because
Yeah.
I think in a culture, either it's common that usually, you know, it's just a thing that when guys and girls sleep around, that the guys aren't wearing any condoms and the girls are
Must
all
be
on
on
the
birth control.
pill.
Yeah.
And that's just the general expectation. I still think the responsibility lies on both, but I think that can just cause a preconceived idea where it's just, you know, the general expectation. But I
Yeah.
think it should definitely be discussed beforehand.
Please.
So
Absolutely.
I think the responsibility is on both, but
Yeah.
I think the culture can affect it, whereas if it's the other way around where, you know, just in general, because like I said, I don't know what the expectations are
Yeah.
of a man. I wouldn't know, am I expected to have a condom or not, like, or is every girl just on the pill? Like, I wouldn't know.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I think, depending on the culture,
Conversations.
but
are
either way, the
important.
responsibility is on both.
Indeed.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Mikey.
Yeah,
Is there
those
any
were
questions you
fun.
have for us?
No.
The last question was why are guys so dumb, but I mean, what is the answer? You like
Why are
honestly.
guys dumb? I don't know. Sometimes we just don't think straight. And don't
okay.
think before we do things.
This is
It's
makes
okay.
sense.
I make dumb decisions. all the
Yes,
time.
we would
Even
just
me.
like to make sure that you guys know this is all very general. Not all guys are the same. Not all girls are the same. But now we have some insight.
Indeed.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mikey.
Thanks for
I
having me.
hope you enjoyed this as much as we did.
I did.
Cool.
Yeah, and thanks to everyone for listening.
Yes.
And we will see you
in the next episode.
indeed.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say bye.
You can if you want.
You have to keep that in. You have to keep that
As
in.
I said it, I was like, this would probably be fun. So I'll just say.